Hi, welcome to Cisco Live. My name is Craig Vario. I run the global channel for the ThousandEyes business unit. I'm delighted to be here with Mohit Lad. Mohit was our co-founder and CEO of ThousandEyes, now the general manager of the ThousandEyes business unit. Mohit, one question I always get from partners, they always ask me, why did you have this idea to start ThousandEyes? Where did that come from? And I'd love for you to talk about that today.
Hey, Craig. Hi, Mohit, co-founder and CEO, and excited to be here at Cisco Live and share our story. The journey of Thousand is really interesting because we had two co-founders, myself and Ricardo, that did our PhD at UCLA on internet routing, and we were really fascinated by the internet and believed that it had some true potential to change how we live our lives, not just as individuals but also as organizations, right? And our research focused on demystifying this internet. And we realized even during our PhDs, as we presented to real communities of network operators, that this knowledge of demystifying the internet and making it look like your environment was missing in the industry. And as we looked at the industry after our graduations and realized the trend was that everything was becoming internet centric. And this is actually even more true in today's day and age where everyone's working from home and the internet is truly the backbone. Yet nobody truly understands the impact it has on digital experience. So we had a skill set of decoding the internet, which was a big black box. And there was a trend where it was becoming more and more the center of the universe from an enterprise architecture standpoint. And so we thought there's a really good opportunity to build something truly unique and differentiated in the marketplace that can transform how enterprises operate in this digital world today. So that was the genesis of Thousand Eyes and how it came together, coming out of a UCLA research kind of mindset, and then really taking a clean slate approach without being biased by what's in the market and building something that is helping people move towards these internet-centric architectures.
Yeah, when I think about a clean approach, right, I normally see a lot of people try to put us in a category or bucket us as an NPM or an APM solution. Maybe you could talk about that. Like, where do you see us when you think about a unique approach? Like, how are we different, and where's our value add opposed to a traditional, say, APM, NPM? Because it's common for people to try to categorize you.
Yeah, I think traditional network management, NPM performance management products have always focused on these controlled environments like a data center or an enterprise WAN. And if you look at today's user experience challenges that IT organizations have, there's a remote users. I mean, everyone's remote. So there are remote users going to an Office 365 or Salesforce and from a home office. So they're completely bypassing the IT environments. And to be able to visualize, understand, and decode these experiences, you need fundamentally different approaches that focus on decoding and understanding public environments, not these private environments. And that's really fundamentally different. So while we focus a lot on network, we really didn't take the approach of competing with some of the existing legacy players, as the problem focus was very different from what we were focusing on, which was these modern architectures, and essentially really building something that is not tied to your underlying infrastructure. And this is really important because organizations are going through a series of changes. I mean, there's SD-WAN, there's cloud adoption, there's SaaS adoption, there's SASE coming up, and all of these are almost like happening at once. So you can think about it as your architecture moving from version 1.0 to 5.0 all at once. And the beauty of Thousand Eyes and how it's built is it's really not tied to the underlying infrastructure. You can be on MPLS, you can be on SD-WAN, we will figure things out. And the whole premise behind how we've built it is the notion that organizations don't control the infrastructure, which is why it is really extremely relevant in today's world. And it's truly unique in what it provides.
Yeah, thanks, Mo. I think one of the coolest things I heard Thousand Eyes say, and I'm not really sure who coined it, but when you think about the internet, right, that's the new network. When you think about the data center, that's the cloud, right? And you think about applications, that's a SaaS stack, and it's just pretty amazing to think about it in those terms. You know, if you look back from where you were to where you are today. One of the things also, I know you had a lot of companies that were looking to buy Thousand Eyes. Can you tell me about like why Cisco? If you think about all the different companies that had expressed interest, and there was quite a few, Like, what made you sell Thousand Eyes to Cisco, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, so I mean, we saw the ultimate goal behind Thousand Eyes was to get Thousand Eyes everywhere, and I think it's for two reasons. One, we have this unique approach where we are building this massive global data set, and every customer that we add adds to the data set, and they get value in return. So there's this really amazing network effect, and that creates a highly differentiated global database, like the Google Maps of the internet. So one reason we wanted Thousand Eyes everywhere was because we wanted to create like a truly massive database which builds this picture of the internet, and we saw Cisco as a way to accelerate that adoption in the customer base, right? And the other reason is frankly because we just believe that Thousand Eyes and in our customers value the value that we provide to the insights we provide to them, and that needed to really be in the hands of every single customer. And we found Cisco as a way to achieve that. But if you step out from all of these, I think at a high level, what we found with Cisco was it was one of these unique companies in the marketplace that had this focus on the network, but adjacent to our focus on the network. So the DNA matched, but Cisco focused a lot on these internal environments and we focused on external. So we felt like there was a truly good match there between us while the focus was still network. And then Cisco was also a company that had an application performance solution in AppDynamics. And there really isn't a competitor of Cisco that has that strength of networking and also has a strong APM focus. And we tie into both sides of the story. So for us, it was the way for, we believe, for Thousand Eyes to bridge an AppDynamics with the traditional Cisco networking products into one seamless experience for their customers, which was really exciting.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point. If maybe one last question, right? As you mentioned, as Cisco is going through this transformation as a service, where do you think the future is within Cisco 5 years from now? Like, what's your vision? And as we think about 5 years, what does success look like for Thousand Eyes within Cisco?
Yeah, so I think one of the things that we always had top of mind when we were building Thousand Eyes is we want to break silos and break silos not just within the organization between the app teams, the network teams, and infrastructure teams, but also across organizations. So if I ask customers what is the value of Thousand Eyes, there's almost always this notion of we are one of the first triage points when they're looking at an issue because we quickly can tell is it an application issue, is it a network issue, and it just feels to bring things together versus create silos. And as I look at the future with Cisco, that can really be stretched even further because now we're building some really cool integrations with AppDynamics where the closeness that we were creating between app teams and network teams is taken even many steps further and brought even closer, right? And then the interactions that we were helping between organizations and their third-party dependencies are also something we can really truly make it feel like it's one big team. So the collaboration with AppDynamics is important. The other part of this journey is just the ability for us to seamlessly integrate into Cisco's products because they have a massive footprint in the enterprise world. And that gives customers the ability to turn on Thousand Eyes literally anywhere. So that's one part of the vision, which is Thousand Eyes can be in any customer anywhere at the whim, right? Of any customer, they can turn it on. The other aspect of this, once we start like really truly collecting this intelligence for each customer in every part of their environment, is we can now do something that we haven't been able to do before as an independent company, which is make our insights actionable in its true form, because this data can eventually feed into some of the Cisco decision-making processes that can truly influence actions. And that's the part that I'm excited about and that we are actively thinking through as the next phase of Cisco and Thousand Eyes integration. So 5 years from now, you will see Thousand Eyes really strongly integrated across Cisco's networking products as well as the application stacks, and that intelligence that we carry will be collected from these areas, but also be feeding into how these products themselves provide a much better user experience to their customers. And I think that's we truly have the best single best intelligence and the view of the internet And you just think about how much importance the internet has in today's enterprise, and that intelligence now feeding into the Cisco products to make them better. That's truly game changing.
Yeah, thanks, Mo. I appreciate you sharing your sentiments and approach as to what's to come.
Now, switching gears a bit, Craig, we've had the pleasure of working together for the past couple of years, and given that you have so much experience building partner ecosystems, and you've had a huge role to play here as we were taking Thousand Eyes to the market and really activating the partner community. Would love to just ask your thoughts on like what have you seen different when it comes to Thousand Eyes and partners, and why this was exciting for you personally to be a part of.
Yeah, sure. So I think if I take a step back, like when I came into Thousand Eyes, there's a bunch of things that excited me. Certainly the marquee logos that we had as customers, but also the way that Thousand Eyes sells, which was really a true consultancy approach, right? Where we would go in and it wasn't necessarily pushing a product. We weren't pushing, here's Thousand Eyes. We were understanding what our customers were facing. And then I looked at, okay, what's the routes to market? Like where we should we focus on? Well, partners. Ironically, we looked at who are some of Cisco's top partners. Just having a little bit of vision, I had no idea that we were going to get acquired by Cisco, but it was one of the things that we set out. It was like, where is Cisco playing? Because we knew we'd need to get partners that were definitely focused on the network space, as you talked about that earlier. So I think for us, and where I see partners playing a role is if you think about the insights and the data that our platform provides. And if you think about the role that partners are providing, you're helping customers on this journey to the cloud. You're helping customers on this journey from MPLS to SD-WAN, right? As you go through with your customers and you're doing assessments and you're going, hey, what cloud provider makes sense? We have all this rich data and insights that we could provide that helps you make those decisions, that provide an innovative way, that helps you differentiate and provide value unlike nothing else you've seen. So with the combination of Cisco products and our innovation with the data and insights, I think it's a very powerful message that our partners could deliver.
Yeah, Craig, you bring up a really interesting point there, right? It's what we have found in our own experience is the data and insights and how we've engaged with customers is truly differentiated. But it's not just a consultancy. They want to buy the product, they want to use it in operations, and it's a bit of both, because usually you find it's one or the other, where either you can sell a product or you can use something to consult. But this is truly one of those things where you can use to like have a really rich consultative discussion, but at the same time sell that as an ongoing product subscription that they can continue to get the value from. And one of the things that excited me when you talked about the partner community was this notion that we have all these insights, but we don't have enough people to really take these insights and have those meaningful dialogues, those human interactions. And I think the scale we can get here and the relevance we can give to partners is truly exciting for me as well. I think the other thing that you and I have spent a lot of time on is just thinking about the integrations we are doing with Cisco and the impact that has on the existing partner motions that Cisco and the partner community has built, right? And one of the ones we are excited to announce at Cisco Live is this integration with the Catalyst portfolio, where ThousandEyes agents are going to be one embedded in the default image of the Catalyst devices going forward, but also that we are packaging some amount of ThousandEyes capacity in the DNA licensing itself to give customers a frictionless sort of taste of ThousandEyes. And I think that's something that I'm truly excited about. And given the amount of involvement with partners and Cisco on the Catalyst portfolio, which is one of the best-selling Cisco products, this is a great chance for ThousandEyes to engage with the partner community. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. If you think about just the embedded motion, once again, it comes down to scale. And if you think about the scale that Cisco provides us, and you talked about this earlier, it's unlike anything we've ever seen. So therefore, if we could have partners that understand our platform and they know it's sitting there for the customer and there's a seed license that's there for the customer, and they can help get that off the shelf and provide value to that customer, that's a tremendous opportunity. One of the things that we've been very fortunate. If you look at our customers that are using our platform, the ability to upsell, right, and the ability for them to come back and buy more, it's been pretty significant. The other thing is just the renewal rates that we see. It's substantial. So if we're planting these seeds that are out there and our partners have the expertise, they could come in and provide that consultative approach and say, hey, are you aware that you have Thousand Eyes? And this is what it could do. It can help you with these use cases. I think there's a tremendous value prop for all sides, the customer, the partner, and of course us.
Yeah, and that's a really interesting point, and one we can wrap this discussion around is I know everybody's trying to have revenue as a service, right? The recurring revenue motion. And we've established in our history as a company the best in class metrics around retention as well as growth in existing customers. And so you apply these motions, as you mentioned, to partners, and partners can actually benefit from these same recurring revenue models as well as the strong, highly best in class retention and growth metrics, and create a truly sustainable recurring revenue model. So this should be really exciting for partners, and it's really exciting for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Mo, we are really excited to join the Cisco family. I think it's a tremendous opportunity for partners. We're doing things right in the background where we're providing content that's going to go into Black Belt in order to scale this business. We've been on a series of doing ILT trainings around the globe. The other thing that we're doing for partners is we've created what I'll call a champions program, where we're training internal folks within Cisco and the partner community. And of course, we'll have my team that's going to support partners too. So there's a tremendous amount of, I would say, resources, time, effort, and investments that are going behind getting partners ready to scale the ThousandEyes business unit.
Yeah, that's great, Craig, and I'm truly excited. I think my bet is next year at Cisco Live at this time, when you and I are chatting about the partner community, we would have already seen a tremendous amount of scale in over the last 12 months. So fingers crossed, and look forward to all the joint success.
Yeah, no doubt, Mo. Thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate it. And partners, welcome to ThousandEyes. We are really excited to have you guys and get started. So thank you so much.